One country sits on top of 1 trillion barrels of oil. That's enough oil to fill more than 60 million Olympic swimming pools. And here's the strange part. Most of that oil is found in just 8 underground pockets in one country. That country is Saudi Arabia. But why? Why does this one region have so much oil, while most of the world has almost none? The answer goes back 250 million years. And it has nothing to do with luck. Here's what most people don't know. Oil is not just buried randomly under the ground. Oil needs 3 very specific things to form, and the Middle East had all 3, in perfect amounts. If even one of these 3 things was missing, Saudi Arabia would just be empty desert today. No oil, no money, no global power. So what are these 3 things? 250 million years ago, the area we now call Saudi Arabia was not a desert. It was underwater, a shallow, warm sea, full of tiny sea creatures and algae. When these creatures died, they sank to the bottom of the sea. Over millions of years, layers and layers of dead organic material piled up. This became what scientists call source rock, the raw ingredient for oil. Then came ingredient number 2, heat and pressure. As more layers of sand and rock piled on top, the buried organic material got squeezed and cooked, slowly turning into oil and gas. But here's the magic part. The oil didn't stay where it formed. It slowly moved upward until it hit a layer of rock with tiny holes in it called reservoir rock. The oil seeped into these holes like water filling a sponge. Finally, ingredient number 3. On top of this reservoir rock, there needed to be a solid, sealed cap of rock with no cracks. This cap trapped the oil underground for millions of years, like a lid on a jar. The Middle East had all 3 of these, the source rock, the reservoir rock, and the sealing cap, in massive amounts across a huge area. This created some of the largest oil fields ever discovered on Earth. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Saudi Arabia's oil is also unusually easy to extract. The Ghawar field, the world's largest oil field, has oil trapped in porous rock at a depth of just about 6,500 feet. That's shallow compared to many oil fields elsewhere. This means Saudi Arabia doesn't need expensive deep-sea drilling or complex technology. The oil practically flows out on its own. Production costs are some of the lowest in the world. But geology is only half the story. In 1922, a mining engineer convinced Saudi Arabia's ruler that oil might exist in the region. A decade later, in 1933, an American oil company signed an agreement to search for it. Between 1939 and 1953, Saudi Arabia's oil revenue jumped from just $7 million to over $200 million, and the kingdom became completely dependent on oil income. Today, Saudi Arabia and its neighbors hold 48% of the world's crude oil reserves, almost half of everything on Earth. So why do Arab countries have so much oil? It comes down to one ancient sea, 3 perfect geological ingredients, and 250 million years of time. Nature built the world's largest oil reserve right under the desert, and one family discovered it just in time to change the future of the entire planet. If you found this interesting, subscribe to Geo Explainer. We break down the world, one question at a time.